Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Turfway Park here on Saturday. It is the 22nd of March 2025. It's Spiral Day or Jeff Ruby Stakes Day from Turfway. We're going to look at the Jeff Ruby Stakes and all the other stakes races on the program. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And I mean it, around the world. Let's look at these stakes action races 7 through 12 from Turfway. Quite a few races to look at. Seventh race, it is the Latonia Stakes, going for a $250,000 purse. Race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 12 horses going the distance of ground, 1,700 meters or mile 16 on the Latonia or Turfway main track. Top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse, Dana's Beauty, 5746 for me in the superfecta. 5746 super. Top selection of 5 horse, Dana's Beauty, is 7-year-old mare by not this time. Mike Maker trains. Juan Hernandez gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently on the 25th of January at Gulfstream. Mile 70 off turf, Tapeta, and a handicap at Gulfstream. And the horse finished 2 1/4 lengths that day, and he was with them early on. He just got caught late. Dreaming of Mo just had the great turn of foot to win that day. But this horse, he ran his heart behind him. Refreshing here today. I think this horse could find a trip to win on the Turfway surface because this horse ran two back incredibly well in the My Charmer. Mile 16th locally, win by 4.5 lengths. He had everything his own way on the front end, and he kept going. A very strong run for this horse there. And then Churchill in the claiming crown, a mile 16th on the lawn. He finished second by a head. He stalked. He got the lead. Ghostly Gal caught him late, but she ran his heart out that day. Not a bad race in the feed. And then won the Ricks Memorial at Remington over the mile 16th. Winning by 6.5 lengths on the lawn. He just went away with it. Back here to Turfway. Horse won this race quite nice on the front last year at 3-1. I think she could make it back-to-back years. The 7-horse Austria for Geraldo Corrales, I think, could win also. Was a winner 3-back and option 50 at the Fairgrounds in late November. Hung away by 1 1/4 lengths, closing it from nowhere. I thought it was a very good race. Came back to run the Endeavor over the mile 16th in February at Tampa, where she just never really had a good trip, finishing 7th. And then came back to run in the Wintergreen locally about a month ago, where she finished second by a length, just missing late, but she ran her heart out. Back here, training well. I'm going to give her a shot here at 6-1 in the in the All Stakes pick 6 here. But to recap my selections for there's a hair on that. But to recap my selection of the 7th from Turfway, it's the Latonia Stakes. We're going to go take the number 5 horse, Dana's Beauty. Give kudos to the 7 horse Austria. 5746 super. 5-7 in the multi race. The 8th race from the Turfway, it is the Rushaway Stakes. It's going for a purse of $250,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. Just not ready for the spiral late in the card. Field of 8 horses going 1,700 meters or mile 16th here in the Rushaway. I'm going to go with the 5 horse Cole Moon. I'm going to go 5147 in the superfecta. 5147 super. Top selection of 5 horse Cole Moon. This 3-year-old gelding by Cole Front. Paulo Lobo trains. Adam Beschizza gets them out. They ran the horse most recently to main special weight locally, a mile on the 14th of February. Took him 7 starts to break the maiden. He was getting close to no cigars previous races, but he finally broke the maiden in start 7, winning by a length that day from a tracking trip. He came home clear, 96 cents to the dollar favorite. It was a very good run. Come your first time winners. I think he could find the trip to win. I also like his running style coming from mid-pack in this race. I think he's going to see some good speed. Also, he's a very good post draw. He ran 2-back in a main special weight Turfway, 1 mile, 24th of January, back to Tapeta after the dirt experiment. I thought that was a good thing for him. He finished second by a neck. He had a very, very wide trip. He just missed late. The winner caught him late, but he ran his heart out that day. And then ran 2 turns at Churchill in November, mile 16th in the main special weight. He's not a dirt horse. Set off as a very heavy favorite. He finished 5th by 10 1/4 lengths. He was very rambunctious, and he just had nothing. His dirt rough races have just been a little bit subpar. I think he's better for turf. Back to turf today, since gelding him at the end of the season last year. He's really become a better horse. 5-1, let's use him. I think the 1 horse End of Romance for Grand Motion and Johnny V making the stateside debut could find a trip to win also. Most recently, the UK excelled over the 1 turn 7 furlongs in a Class 5 novice race, basically like an allowance race. He won by 1.5 lengths that day. And come from mid-pack, he got the job done. I'd be used a lot that day to concentrate, but I thought it was a very good race. Prior to Chester over the 7 conditions race, finished 3rd by 2 1/4 lengths, where again, just kind of yielded late. That and also he lost shoe, which was, if you look at the running style line, you could see during the race, you can't tell. But Chester's a very speed favoring course. They were flying on the front end. He just couldn't keep the momentum late. But he won a Pontefract quite easily over the 3 quarters after a horrible beginning. I think he's another horse. He's probably going to get better with a longer trip. Mile 16th in his wheelhouse, drawn to well. 4-1. Let's use him in the pick five that begins with this race. But to recount my selection for the eighth from Turfway, now it's the Rushaway. We're going to take the 5 horse Full Moon. Give kudos to the 1 horse End of Romance. 5-1-4-7 Super. 5-1 in the multi race. The ninth race now from Turfway. It is the Animal Kingdom Stakes. It's going for a $250,000 purse race for 3-year-olds here. Field of 8 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs in the Animal Kingdom. And when I think of Animal Kingdom, I don't think about a 6 furlong horse. I think of about a very good mile and a quarter horse. I think he's also a very good, turf horse, but it was just a few and far between races that he got to run on turf. But my top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 7 horse, Kale's Angel. I'm going to go 7-6-1-4 in the superfecta. 7-6-1-4 super. Top selection 7 horse, Kale's Angel. 3-year-old colt by Complexity. Peter Miller trains this one. Ramon Vasquez gets the mount. Most recently ran in January at Oakland, 6 furlongs in the Renaissance, and it was a success for this horse. Winning by a neck from a tracking trip. He was all out, a little bit drifting that day, but he got the job done. 70 Buyer, he's definitely run fast races in his life. I think, he can improve off that run, but if they proved with him, he wants to cut back and trip. He's back to a 1 turn again today. I think you can find the trip. He ran 2 back in the Smarty Jones at Church at Oakland, mile 16th in early January, which wasn't a success for him. He finished third by 4.5 lengths. He stalked and then just didn't show up as the favorite. He's not a 2-turn horse. Prior to that, in the advent at Oakland, 5.5 in early December, winning by 5.25 lengths from a tracking trip. He was a little bit wide, but he flew home clear. A very good run. And then number 2 turns in the thoroughbred aftercare Alliance Stakes at Del Mar, mile on the lawn, wide poster. I finished 11 by 5.75 lengths. He was dueling on the front end, but then just crumbled. Just not that kind of horse. He wants to sprint. He's back at it again today. Running well on the Tapeta. He's proven he can run good races on turf. And the Tapeta turf form's very good. 2-1. I'm going to use him here. I think the 6 horse here, Big Vince, could win also for Corrales and Larry Ravelli. He's one of his last 2 locally. Last time out, he won with a 76 Buyer going 3 quarters quite nicely, and then broke the main 2 back quite easily also. He's training well locally. I'll give him a shot here in the pick 4. But to recount my selection for the ninth from Turfway, it is the Animal Kingdom. I'm going to take the 7 horse Kale's Angel. Give kudos to the 6 horse Big Vince. 7-6-1-4 Super. 7-6 in the multi race. The 10th race now from Turfway. It is the Kentucky Cup Classic. It's a grade 3 event going for a $300,000 purse race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses entered, 13 horses in AE. So field of 12 horses will go 1,800 meters or a mile and 1/8 here in the Kentucky Cup Classic. I'm going to go with the 13 horse Tuscan. Hopefully he draws in. I'm going to go 13-8-3-2 in the superfecta. 13-8-3-2 super. Tops like 13 horse Tuscan. 4-year-old colt by Constitution. Top Fletcher trains. John Velazquez gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently, 22nd of February at Gulfstream, mile and 1/8 on the Tapeta and Ops 25 Clamor, and it was a success for this horse, winning by a half a length. He stalked all the way around the race course. He was a little bit wide, but he got up there in the nick of time. A very good strong run. He's a $1.3 million purchase as a 2-year-old at Keeneland in September 2022. But he just hasn't shown a lot, since the purchase price. But it took him a while to get to the racetrack also. But since he's gotten there, he's running these good races. 2 back in the main special at Gulfstream, mile 70 off turf on 24th January. Winning by 1.25 lengths from a tracking trip. He was lugging in a little bit late, but he got the job and keeping the forwardly momentum there. And then on debut, going 6.5 before Christmas at Gulfstream in the main special weight. He was 4th by 5.25 lengths that day, where he was just kind of wide, just a little lackadaisical. I don't think he was bred for the trip, but coming here, he's probably gonna have to, if he draws in, he's gonna have to overcome a wide poster. But I think it's the world. It's a little bit of a lighter race that I think he could find a trip to win. I'm gonna use him here. I think the 8 horse Hush of a Storm for Vincent Chaminade and Brad Cox can win also. He ran a terrific third in the Bayou Stakes here at Turfway 2 back, where he was just couldn't get there late, but he ran his heart out. Came back from a massive place in the Dust Commander here in mid-February, where again, the winner Sharon just had the jump on this horse, but this horse, he got down the race course well. Not a bad race in defeat. He likes Turfway, likes running here, likes running on the Tapeta in general between here and in Prescott, Pennsylvania. 9 to 2. Let's use him on the pick four ticket. But to recap my selection now for the 10th from Turfway, it's the Kentucky Cup Classic, a race very rich in history. Gonna go with 13 horse Tuscan. Give kudos to the 8 horse Hush of a Storm. 13-8. 3-2 Super, 13-8 in the multi race. Let's get to the 11th race now from Turfway, which is the Bourbonette Oaks. It's going for a purse $300,000 race for 3-year-old fillies. Field of 14 horses entered, only 12 could go. 1,700 meters or a mile and the 16th here in the Bourbonette Oaks. Gonna go take the 7 horse as a catch can. I'm gonna go 7-1-8-9 in the superfecta. 7-1-8-9 super. Top select 7 horses catch can. 3-year-old filly by Motown. Jonathan Thomas trains. Frankie Dettori gets the mount. They ran the horse most recently in Sweet Life at Santa Anita. 6.5 down the hill, 9th of February. They got a race under his belt. And he nearly won. He finished second by 1 1/4 lengths. He stalked all around the race course. Great turn of foot. Not a bad race. I'm back around 2 turns with this horse has proven she can run good races. I think she could find the trip to win locally. 2 back at Woodbine, a mile 70 and off 75 on the 5th of December. She won by a length that day, and she had 5 on the rivals that day, and she basically came from the back of the pack, bringing the good turn of foot, and she got there. A very good, strong run for her that day. And then in the Mezzarine at Woodbine, a mile 16th in early November, she finished second by a neck, and again, she just missed late, but she sat back early off of a wide trip and she ran her heart out. If you look over her form, her debut she ran against Italian Soiree and Yellow at Aqueduct on July 4th. That was a very good 2-year-old race. She just didn't show a lot in her only dirt effort, but her turf efforts over the summer weren't bad at all. Decent place at Saratoga in her second outing. Broke the main at Colonial quite nicely after that. Another horse she's been based in Southern California all winter, running these, training and running a good race at 6-1, getting Frankie up. Like this horse shot on the ticket. I think the one horse Resolve can win also for Umberto Rispoli and Leonard Powell. There's only won once. That came on the 3rd of November to Del Mar in a main special where she won by 1 1/4 lengths off her a wide trip. She flew home clear late, then came back to run in the Jimmy Durante where she just didn't show, a lot. Also, she had a bit of a trouble trip. And then in the Prelude Northern, she just was wide and just completely hit the wall. When they let her run from the back of the pack, she runs these good races. Like last time out, she just missed, but she ran her heart out. Training well on the Tapeta at Turf at Santa Anita, coming to the Midwest. I'll give her a shot here at 6-1. But to recount my selection for the 11th now from Turfway, it is the Bourbonette Oaks. We're going to go take the 7 horses catch can. Give kudos to the 1 horse Resolve. 7-1-8-9 Super. 7-1 in the multi race. The feature 12th race now from Turfway. It is the Jeff Ruby Stakes. It's a Grade 3 event going for a purse of $777,000. Races for 3-year-olds here. Field of 13 horses entered. Only 12 could go. 1,800 meters or a mile and 1/8 here in the Jeff Ruby on the Tapeta. Gonna go take the 6 horse Baby Max. 6-9-10-5 for me in the superfecta. 6-9-10-5 super. Top 6 horse Baby Max. 3-year-old colt by Maximum Mischief. Kelsey Danner trains. Abel Cedillo gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the John Battaglia Memorial here at Turfway, mile 16th, 22nd of February. And the horse finished second by half length that day. And he basically stalked all around the race course. He just missed late, but he ran his heart out. I think refreshed in here back to Tapito, close, but no scars, few recent races. Buyers have been going up. I think he could find the trip to win. 2 back in the Leonidas Stakes here on the 18th of January, over the mile. He won by 2 1/4 lengths and he had a dream trip. He stalked a very slow pedestrian pace. He moved his way into it and he flew home clear late. A very, very good race for him that day. And then prior to that, first time winners of Turfway off 6-2 in early December. Over the mile, he finished second by a head that day. He was very wide, but he had a great turn of foot from the back of the pack. He's been improving a lot, getting first time blinkers here, training well. 5-1, I'll give him a shot on the ticket. I think the 9 horse Poster for Ian Hardy and John Velasquez can win also. Most recently in the Sam F. Davis at Tampa over the mile 16th in mid-February. He just didn't show up. He finished third by 3 3/4 lengths. He was very wide, a little bit of turn of foot, but he just was lucky at Aqueduct 2 back. I think the turn of foot should suit him better on turf and also on the Tapeta. Back to Tapeta today, training well since his last race. Back to the home base basically for him. He's been here all winter. I think he could find a trip from where he was drawn. I thought he ran terrifically in the Remsen in early December at Aqueduct over the mile and 1/8, winning by nose that day from a tracking trip. He really came home clear that day. Prior to that, Keelan in a allowance race for 100,000. He won by 3 lengths coming from the inside. He flew home clear. A very good race that day. Another inside trip on the at Ellis on debut over the mile, winning by 1 1/4 lengths. Even with him, getting a little scared of the tire tracks on the turf course. He really still won quite nicely. Another horse back to the home base. Should definitely get the trip. Watch out for him late. And also the 10 horse Maximus Promise for Kenneth Peak and Frankie. He was winner on debut at Ellis back in August on the dirt over the 1.5 turn mile, winning by 14.5 lengths. He basically won in a trot. Came back to run in LeCompte in January at Fairgrounds where he just didn't show a lot. And he had a decent third in John Battaglia a few weeks ago. Back here, I'm going to give him a shot here at 5-1. But to recap my selection now for the very wide open 12th race from Turfway, it's the Jeff Ruby Stakes. Going to take the 6 horse Baby Max. Give kudos to the 9 horse Poster and the 10 horse Maximum Promise. 6, 9, 10, 5 Super. 6, 9, 10 in the multi. 6, 9, 10, 5 Super. 6, 9, 10 in the multi race. Can't speak. It's been a very long day. So with that being said, good luck to all. And please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.